자, 다음 시간으로는요, COMEUP Future Talk에서 특별하게 준비된 Tech Talk 시간입니다. Tech Talk 트랙은 스타트업의 최신 기술을 선보이는 쇼케이스 형식의 세션들로 구성되어 있는데요. 이번 주제는 The Future of Smart Sleep Solution이라는 주제로 세션을 갖게 됩니다. 이번 세션도 마찬가지로 영어로 진행이 됩니다. 통역이 필요하신 분들은 지금 의자 뒤쪽에 부착되어 있는 링크, QR 링크를 스캔하시거나 지금 뒤에 서 계신 분들은 엑스패너에 있는 QR 코드를 스캔하시면 통역 서비스를 받으실 수 있습니다. Let's welcome with a round of applause Tobias Kirchhoff.
Yeah, thank you for listening. This is the founders track, so I thought I will talk to you from a founder to founders and a little bit about the company, what we are doing, that you understand the background, but also about our strategies and about where we see and what we believe. Now, the future of sleep already started. And when did it start and where did it start? Well, it started about 2,000 years ago, right here in Korea. Well, you might be wondering why that is and what is so special about Korea. It has to do with sleep. Now, I'm referring actually to the on-door heating system you have here in Korea. Most of you will be aware of that. For those of you who do not know this heating system, well, it's actually that a house in ancient times in Korea had the fireside outside the house. The smoke would go below the stone floor to the other side of the house, to the chimney. So it would actually heat the stone. Now, why is that so special? Well, stone actually can be really cold. Everybody of you who touches stone in winter knows that this is actually a rather cold material. Yeah? So it would be uncomfortable. But when you heat stone and make it warm, it actually becomes very comfortable because it keeps the property to absorb and removes your body heat and still is comfortable warm. That is a really special thing. Actually, the Romans invented something very, very similar to that one. So if you have this type of heating system and the body heat is removed over the night and so you feel comfortable, actually you Koreans should sleep rather well. So let's check if that is the case. We ask about 1,000 consumers in Korea about how do you sleep, or more specifically we ask, did you or your partners sometimes feel too hot at night? These are the answers. And I want to emphasize a couple of them. 40% of all of the 1,000 people asked in Korea feel too hot at night year-round. 27% feel too hot in summer. Now that is on top of the 40% which feel too hot year-round. Only 15% report they never have a problem with that. So that is actually a big, big topic here in Korea. When you ask, okay, perhaps the Koreans are used to it, they don't have a problem with that at all, but when you ask, what do you do when you feel too hot? These are the answers. I will again emphasize some of them. 70% increase the air conditioning, thinking it's the outside heat which makes them too hot. 35% put their feet out of the cover. Actually a rather effective way to reduce the core body heat. It has to do with blood circulation. 40% open the window, meaning a lot of you are feeling too hot also in wintertime. Otherwise, you would not open the window to cool down. So obviously, there is a problem. Obviously, something happened. You had this great heating system, and you had the possibility to not feel too hot, but something changed. Now, what actually changed? was that you're now sleeping on a different way of bed. A typical bed is shown here, a bed with foam on top and inner springs below, or a pure foam mattress. Now, foam is unfortunately very insulating. And now, since you're used to this heated floor, you also, on top of this, use mostly a heating pad. Yes, and this heating pad, of course, additionally gives heat into the insulating foam. Yeah, here you see a kind of thermal simulation. What happens if you apply heat to foam? Now it's stuck. Foam is insulating. The heat cannot go out, and that is what you feel and being too uncomfortable. Now, that is exactly where our product comes in. So I'm happy to introduce Pepperminto, the smart topper, which works exclusively and is designed exclusively for the Apple Watch. Why? We will come to that in a later slide. So we have invented a Variowell, special bands which we sell to the mattress industry, which actually remove excess body heat in the night. You see here also some simulation where you see how our bands, if they are glued into foam, remove body heat. Yeah? And this is actually a good, and that is the first founder-to-founder tip, it's actually good cash flow for us. Yeah? We sell these bands to Casper in New York, to Slumberland in Malaysia and Thailand, to Emma in Portugal and Spain, to Sukan in Japan, and this is also the pillow, and to Luna in Mexico. So that is the cash flow, and that is also the expertise we have, actually, that we can remove body heat from foam, answering this first question of overheating. And this is what we combine with intelligent warming. Yeah? So we combine the cooling and the warming, the natural cooling. This is a project we have to do together with Bosch. It's a very, very clean, nice controller with controls on night. And now what we do is, compared to the old Oolong system, is our bands which remove body heat are what your stones were, and our heating device inside were what your warming up of the stones were. So we are actually pretty close back to what you had already 2,000 years ago. Yeah, a couple of functionalities, I go over other factors. Feet warming, the big favorite of all our testers. Yeah, many people who have cold feet, especially not only women's, which has to do with the blood circulation. You remember this, putting the feet out of the bed. Yeah. Another function is actually lumbar warming. That is really, really effective. Lumbar is, for those of you who do not know, lumbar is this section of your body which has a lot of temperature receptors. So that is actually where you have really feel temperature and where you feel comfort. I go with that. There are a couple of other really, really nice functions to that, and all very easy to use, actually really, really intuitive, for sleep onset, but also for later in the night, meaning we take the heart rate of your Apple Watch over the night. Your heart rate is correlated a little bit to skin temperature, so a drop in heart rate indicates a drop in skin temperature. We can give more insulation. So there's a lot of things we can do. Actually, there's a big IoT system behind that with digital twins. We also focus on air quality, analyzing air quality in the night and all different chemicals. I wanted to talk a little bit about Found and Found. I have only a couple of minutes left. This is our team. We actually are really inspired by Silicon Valley. Why? We have an intercultural approach. That is what you see here. We have a team from about 15 different countries. Our main language, though we are located in Germany, is English. So we can take people from all different cultural backgrounds. We are really science-focused. Everything we promised can be proven and analyzed. And we are actually bridging the world of Apple and Google, who all have their sleep teams and are specialized in sleeps, with the mattress industry. I'm also co-chairing a working group in the USA where people from Apple or Google are working on sleep tech-related items. Now, two slides more. Why do we have only the Apple Watch? Yesterday, when we had this booth here, we were often asked about, why, you start with Apple Watch and then Samsung Galaxy comes later. No, it will be focused on the Apple Watch. Why? First, focus as a startup. Don't look at the big markets. Don't look at everything else you can do, because each each concept you are doing takes a lot of resources. Yeah? So we focus on the Apple Watch, and that is also a market we didn't find. And what do we know about our future consumer of this mattress pad? Well, we know he has an Apple Watch. It is an Apple Watch, he will have an iPhone. So we know already a lot about this prospective customer, and it's not the answer, oh, everybody, because you cannot relate to everybody. Yeah? And also, what I think the app is the touch point to the consumer. So if you have a lot of different apps for iOS and Android and all the different watch OSs, actually you have different products from a consumer perspective. You will say 95% of the product is the same, but from the consumer perspective, actually there are different products because there are different interfaces. Yeah? So for a consistent brand experience, which is so important, focus on one device. Yeah? Another thing is, why do we start in South Korea? Because actually, as a German company, we do start in South Korea. This will be here our very first market. We will open up a subsidiary in January just for this. Now, why starting in South Korea? Well, first, it's a great country, yeah, I have to believe. But the second one, it's a really good medium-sized market. So it's really, we should not start with a huge market like USA. Yeah, start with medium-sized markets where you can actually move. Yeah? The next thing is that, as I always talk with founders, especially in the sleep, is respect a form factor of a product. When Apple sold you the iPhone, they sold you actually a computer for your pocket. But nobody had a computer in his pocket. No, they didn't. They sold you a phone. Well, most things you will do is not phoning with that, but that is how they sold it to you, as a phone, which was something you knew from before. The Apple Watch is actually a monitoring device on your arm. Was it sold to you as a monitoring device on the arm? No, it was sold to you as a watch, and you knew what a watch was. Yeah? Respect the form factor of a product. Yeah? That's very, very important. And the next thing we just heard in the panel before about different markets, especially in Asia. Yeah? The most easiest market might be not your home market. It might be not even the neighboring market. It might be a market far away, like Korea is far away from Germany. But because here the form factor is known, it's a medium-sized market, you're very open to new technology. It's actually an easier market than if we would start in Germany. So this is very important. Here are some price levels about peppermint, which can be bought immediately and shipped starting in January. And with the discount code, you can actually get a really good discount, so you already have the COMEUP expenditure inside. And it was really, really a pleasure to talk to you. And I'm happy to welcome you at CES in Las Vegas in January, where we will have a big booth in the digital health segment. And we are really, really happy to greet there, especially our Korean future customers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kirchhoff.